doing on that off weekend?
I'm really just chilling, honestly, just trying to get my mind together, get my mind on, not on football, just have a little break, just to reset, refresh, make sure I'm keeping up with treatment. That's really what I do during the weekend, by week, how I like to use my time.
Phil, physically, what's it like going through a season, the wear and tear of RB1, being the guy? Can you sort of describe what that's been like for you?
It could be highs and lows to it. I mean, being a football player's injuries are a part of the game, and sometimes you're never going to feel 100% throughout the season. So you just got to work on maintaining that, and that comes down to just your priorities and your scheduling. Just making sure you're getting treatment and, doing everything you can on a daily basis to treat your body. It's your greatest asset in this game, so you just got to be a pro in that aspect. So that helps a lot, and the bye week helps a lot, just having a week where you get to just focus on getting your body back, focus on the rest, the little things. That always helps too.
What have you seen from this Louisville defense and your preparation watching the Cardinals?
They're a great defense. They have a great defensive front. They play fast. They're well coached. They're physical. We're just gonna have to play physical and be able to, do what we do this time of year. They got great coaches too, so they'll have great scouting reports. We'll just have to execute the plan to win and just focus on what we need to do on the daily in terms of practice and how we attack it in order to give it our all on Saturday.
What does a player like Jay Haynes bring to the kick return special teams element of the game? So he was, I think, listed as the number one kick returner on the depth chart this week, I guess. What qualities does he bring that makes him a dynamic returner?
He's versatile. Jay, he's a real speedy guy. He has speed. He has great vision. And, it's new for him this year. But, he's been developing and getting better. And, he can help his team a lot, especially in the return game. He loves to ball. He loves to play football. He cares about it. And there's no one else that I could see that could fit that job than him, honestly.
You have, obviously, you're the main guy, but your workload hasn't been heavy. Do you feel like you feel as fresh and as healthy as you could possibly be considering it's November?
Yeah, I would say I feel overall pretty good. I mean, just maintaining my body, not having to do much of a workload, being able to be versatile in my role, being able to run the ball as well as pass pro. I take pride in both things, and, whatever the team needs me to do, I'll be there to do that as long as we, get what we want, and that's to be able to go down the field and score. I'm happy with everything, as long as we, get the results we want. And I'm happy to see the other guys get opportunities, and, that's less for me. It's great to see, honestly, us making explosive plays and, just getting down the field really quick. It allows us to just put more points on the board and allows our offense to be versatile, not just me. We have so many weapons.
Obviously, everybody's looking, tiebreakers and everything through the month of November, and there's 5 games and all that. But as a senior leader, how do you keep these other players focused on it's just about Louisville?
I would say just, treating every game like a championship game. You shouldn't prepare any differently than you would, if it would be the national championship. So just keeping that mentality and also just leading by example in practice and, showing how we need to work throughout the season, because Coach Sweeney always talks about how this is the time where, teams and players start to get a little, down because, we're in the middle of the season and guys are getting tired, feeling sorry for themselves. But this is the time where we really got to lock in and focus on, what we want to do, because we worked so hard these past 10 months to, focus on this moment. And, the moment's here. We're exactly where we want to be. So this is a time we got to dial in like we haven't before. And that's how we got to treat it.
Speaking of following up on that, sure you'd love for it to happen, but do you allow yourself to think ahead to, let's just say, you guys go on a deep playoff run, how many more games that you would have to play this year if you want in a position to win it all? We're talking about maybe, what, 16, 17 games. You ever thought you'd play that many college games?
No, I haven't. I mean, I really didn't until last year, when they released the new system. So it's honestly cool to be, the pioneers of that, but it just comes with adjusting to it and making sure you're doing what you need to do in order to be successful. Coach Sweeney has done a great job, especially with our scheduling, making sure it matches up with, the long season we're having, and keeping everyone healthy and just having the right plan to keep that longevity through the season.
Phil, there's been a lot of attention paid to the offensive line this year and how well that group is playing up front. What has it been like for you running behind those guys, and how have you seen them improve?
It's been amazing, honestly. They've done a great job, just like I said, just having those guys, experienced guys, being able to come back and have another shot at it. They have experience, they have grit, they learned from their mistakes, and as we all have as a team, we've learned from our mistakes and we want to get better. And another key piece to it has been Coach Luke. He's been a fantastic addition to this offense, and he brings the energy every day at practice. I hear it from the O-line themselves. They tell me how much he cares about it and the details that he brings into the O-line room, and I know it's helped them so much. And also just having those experienced guys, like I said, Ryan Linthicum, him this being his 4th year, and he's ready, and you could tell that he's been working and he cares about this team, and that's just what's been shown. Our work in the off season's just been coming together and allowed us to have success.
For you as a running back, what changes when you're taking to carry out a shotgun versus like under center? I know you've done that a few times under center and jumbo and stuff like that. How much, if at all, does that change, like anything for you?
Honestly, I would say it doesn't change too much, just because we just try to keep the same tempo. One thing that Coach Spiller always preaches is, when we're down in the goal line versus in the open field, you still got to keep that same tempo. Don't speed yourself up too fast because, you may miss a hole or something. So just try to keep that same mindset wherever we are on the field.
And speaking of Spiller, just to see him get inducted, now you're right there in front of him, seeing it happen against Virginia, what was that like?
It was amazing, honestly. Just seeing all his hard work being recognized, and just also knowing him on a level, him being my coach, just seeing the amount that he cares about this program and our team and just us as players and also as young men. He really cares about us as young men and wants us to develop. He takes time with us to, talk about the real world and real life. That's one of his favorite things to do, just talk to us about life. And he just loves to pour into us. So, I'm grateful for Coach Spiller, and just being able to see that. Him being inducted was just amazing. Just growing up watching him as a kid, I would have never imagined being able to be where I am now.
Is that the most emotional you've seen him maybe ever?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Are there any questions on Zoom for Phil? Any other questions in here?
Phil, I'm just curious how much difference you've seen in Cade from last year to this year. Where do you see those? Where do you see the biggest improvements for him?
I've seen him improve so much, just in his confidence, the way he leads. He's become more vocal. He's just grown into his role as a quarterback of this team and as a leader on this team. And, he's always had that determination to win. He just learned how to, use that and how to adhere to what the team needs. And he's just grown in this offense, being the second year in this offense, knowing the offense way better, being able to have chemistry with us all together has helped us a lot. Like I said, Coach Luke also has given us so much confidence in the passing and running game. Being able to have that communication has been effective, and we're just seeing him play confident and free.
There's been a lot of positives on all sides of the ball this year, but do you think there's an underrated aspect of this team that's going to shine throughout the month of November?
Yeah, I would say underrated. I'll say special teams, honestly. You know, our special teams guys work so hard and, you know, so tirelessly, especially with Coach Gilchrist. You know, he puts in so much work in order to have those special teams guys right, and that's something that we put pride into because we got to have unity within our team. You know, Coach Sweeney talks about how special teams is so important, and it's a phase of the game that, you know, counts and, you know, can win or lose games. So I really have a vision for our special teams to make great plays this month.
Anything else for Phil? All right, thank you, Phil. Thanks, Phil.
Mm-hmm.